Hi everyone. Today I'm about to explain how to map ER diagram from the Jazzy Retail Company Sales Department data sheet into a relational schema. So the basic rule to build a relational schema from the ER diagram is to figure out how many entities we have and what kind of attributes it has. And also it depends on the relationship. So in this data set, we have entities like region, product, vendor, category, customer, sales transaction, and store. All of these have individual attributes, which are like the region, a region ID and the region name for the region. And region ID is the primary key for the region. So the basic rule to build relational schema is to figure out the entities and just list out its attributes. So let's start with that one first. So we are about to start from the product. So to do that, we will just go to the entity relation and we will pull up a table. And we will write the name of the table and also the primary query. Please excuse me. So we are done with the product. So let's go to the vendor. So we can basically just copy and paste the table and write the table name. The primary key for the vendor will be the vendor ID. The regular attribute goes over here and we don't have anything. So let's just create the same for the category. Category name. So let's do the same thing for the customer. Customer name, and we also have the customer chip for this one. So now we are done with this side. So let's do the sales transaction. So the primary key for the sales transaction is TID and the regular attribute is TDate. And we don't have anything over here. So let's do for the store. I'm just copying and pasting it and just writing the name. Store, primary key for the store is like a store ID. Regular attribute is, oh, never mind. It's over here. Store chip. Okay, we just had that one. Now let's do for the region. Region, and the primary key for region is region ID. and we have a reason name. Reason name. So for reason, we have reason ID, reason name, product ID, price, and the product name. And we have sales transaction, TID and TDate, customer ID, customer name, and customer G. And category has the category ID and category name. Vendor has vendor ID and vendor name. Okay, so once we list everything, we need to figure out if there is any one-to-one relation. Since there is no one-to-one relation, we will just go and see if there is any one-to-many relation over here. So we have a one-to-many relation. That means we have vendor that goes to the vendor products. So the vendor's primary key will be the foreign key for the product. So let's just add that over there. Vendor ID will be the foreign key. Foreign key. And let's see. So we are done with this one. So similarly, category has one-to-many relation with the product. So the category ID will be the foreign key for the product. So product category is done. Similarly, customer has one-to-many relation with the sales transaction. So sales transaction will have customer ID as its foreign key. Excuse me. And the store also has one-to-many relation with the sales transactions. So we will have store ID as the foreign key. As the foreign key. And for the store, we have a region has one-to-many relation. So we will have foreign key under the store as region ID. As a region ID. Now we are done with the one-to-one relation, one-to-many relation. So let's see if there is any many-to-many relation. So to see many-to-many relation, we have the product and the sales transaction has many-to-many relation. So if there is any many-to-many relation, we need to create another table and include all the primary keys and the foreign key over here and list out any attribute of the entities within a row. So the first one will be, so our table name will be includes. And the first is product ID. And the second one will be our TID as a second foreign key. And our includes have a separate attribute that is quantity. Okay. So let's see what we have created over here. So we have the product, we have the includes, we have the vendor, vendor ID over here, category ID over here, and the customer over here, sales transaction, store relation, and everything. Okay, now we need to show how they are related to each other. So the foreign key vendor ID is coming from the primary key of the vendor. So this one is related. Oh, sorry. Let me drag it. So this one is related to this one. And this one is coming out from category. And the customer ID is foreign key is coming out from this primary key. And the store ID is coming out from here, right here. And the region ID is coming out from here. Okay. Let me do it from this side so that it won't get confused. Region ID is coming out from this side. Now the product ID. Let me move the table a little further so that it won't get confused. So the product ID is coming out from the product table, and TID is coming out from the cells. So this is a vendor. Actually, this foreign key is coming out from the primary key, vendor ID, and we have the customer, and the customer ID is coming out from there, and the sales is coming out from here, and we have a TID coming out from here, and the region coming out from this side. So in this way we can, so this is the ER diagram we had from the Jazzy, and we just created the relational scheme from the ER diagram. Thank you, everyone.